Hey guys, it's Chris, and today's video I am going to do an eyebrow grooming and a tutorial on how I fill in my eyebrows. So you guys can see, let me just brush them a little bit. This eyebrow is fuller than this eyebrow. But as you guys can see here, I don't know if you guys can see that, I am letting it grow. So like that I can match this one a little bit better. But if you guys can see here, I have a little bit of growth. So what I like to do first when I start grooming my eyebrows is I like to brush them out and put the hairs in the directions that I want them to go. And then I like to use a mirror that has like that super zoom. And then I like to use my Revlon tweezers. And it's like the slanted ones. Then what I like to do is I like to look in the mirror and just take out the hairs that are growing, just to clean them out. Now you have to be careful with plucking, because sometimes you can get a little plucking happy and you could pluck out more hairs than what you want, which is exactly what happened to me here. And is why I'm letting it grow back. So just, you know, pluck out whatever you see that is new growth without touching the shape that you already have of your eyebrow. Now if you don't know how to get a shape for your eyebrow, what I did before was I would go to the threading eyebrow place and I will have them thread my eyebrows to whatever shape I wanted, and then at home I would just clean them up as the hairs will grow. Yeah, so just make sure that you get all those little hairs. Sometimes these little hairs are kind of hard to catch and they could be rather annoying, but just get the ones that you can and just follow the shape of your brow. Brush it out, brush it up, and then pluck whatever you see that's growing new. Without taking hairs of your actual shape. Just whatever you think is new growth. Now for under here, like I said, I just take out whatever is new growth or whatever hairs you feel like they look out of place. And try not to over pluck. Like I would, well, I mean, if like you already have a shape and that's the shape you want to keep all the time, then just pluck the hairs as you see them coming out, so you could have that flawless brow. Now my problem is this area right here, because sometimes it just wants to grow like a fan, like a hand fan, and it just wants to do its own thing in the front right here. So that I always gotta keep tame, because I feel like if I don't keep it under control, this shit will go everywhere. And I also, if I don't take the hairs out here in the middle, I will have like a little bit of a unibrow, and who wants a unibrow? No one. Usually what I like to do with the hair in the middle here, I have those self-heating wax strips, and I just use them in those areas where I feel like it's gonna be a lot of hair to pluck. For the top here, what I like to do is I like to brush down. That way I can see all the hairs that are growing that I don't want there. And then I just pluck away. Once you have plucked a lot, when you start plucking and you keep plucking that same hair, it's not gonna hurt as much as the first time you pluck that hair, because the hair is gonna get weaker. So just follow the shape of the brow, and whatever hairs you feel like don't belong there, or like I said, new growth, just pluck them out. Now then I just brush up here, and you guys can see that little bit of growth right there. What I do is I take a little skinny scissors like this ones, and I come in and I cut whatever is past this line that I have here for my brows. So you want to make sure that you brush those hairs really good, get them in the spot where you want them to be, and then just use your scissors and cut them up. Now you really have to be careful with cutting the hairs, because sometimes you could cut too much and then you could leave yourself a bald spot. So just be careful with the cutting. Now for here, I brush this ones down. I'm not sure if you guys can really see that. And then I just cut whatever is too long. And that is it. So I am just going to fix my other brow off camera, and then when I come back we'll start the tutorial on how I fill them in. Okay guys, now that we have our eyebrows groomed to our liking, we are gonna start doing the filling in. What I usually start with is with my Urban Decay primer potion. The reason why I use this is because my eyebrows get really oily, and if I put this on first, I feel like whatever I put on my brows will stay on longer. So what I usually do is I just put a tiny bit and I run it all over my brow. Just as a base. And then I do the same thing to the other brow. I comb my brows to my liking. Move the hairs where I want them to go. Then I go in with Milani brow gel, shaping wax, and clear, and I just lightly run it from the beginning of my brow to the end. Now the wax is gonna make your hairs stay down and not really move anywhere. So I like to make sure that I get every single hair with the wax. Okay, now once I have that, if you guys can tell, my hairs are just in place. I like to comb them one more time, and this time when I'm combing them to the shape that I want my brow to be the whole time. So like that I could just lay the product down. Anastasia Beverly Hills, the brow pomade in medium brown with the other side of the brush. Now this product, a little bit goes a long way. If you use too much of this product, it's gonna look like if you Sharpied your eyebrows in. So what I suggest you do is you take a tiny bit onto the brush, something like this, and then what I like to do is I like to take the cap. It looks like this. Well, it's supposed to look white, but mine is like this because I just like to dab a little bit of the excess off on the cap, just so like that I don't have too much on my brow. So what I like to do is I like to kind of like not look down on the mirror, but look a little bit down onto the mirror so you can see the bottom of your brow. And then I like to start from down here with a light hand, shaping the bottom of your brow, but you're gonna follow your natural shape. Okay, now you're gonna slowly follow and trace your brow. Now for the top, I like to brush my hairs down, and I like to start from somewhere back here, and I start from where the hair starts to go down. I start from where the hair grows, and then I just lightly follow the shape of my brow. And then I brush my hairs back, and then I just like to fill in lightly with the rest of the product. I'm not putting anything else on this brush. I am just using whatever I have left on the brush to put it on my brows. Okay, and now you could brush that in, so you could blend it a little bit, but you don't want to do this too hard. You just want to lightly brush it so you could blend out the colors. Now for the front here, I like to just follow the natural shape of your brow with a light hand, and then just blend everything in. Okay, so that is one brow. Okay guys, so now we're gonna go in onto the other eyebrow. Now since I am missing hair down here, what I want to do first is I want to use my Cella pencil in the color dazzling dark brown. Start shaping out the shape that I want. Okay, so right here is where I'm missing the hairs. So what I do after that is, once I have that down, I like to go in with my pomade, and I am just going to fill in the brow. Okay, so we are filling in the brow. Now when we get to the bottom part, you just want to pass this along it so it doesn't, the brow pomade is a stronger product than a pencil. So if you go right over it with the product, it's just going to make it stay better. So now I just like what I like to do is I like to take my Cella highlighting pen in the color Ivory Lace, and I just like to go right under the brow. Now this is like a creamy product, so I kind of use it to highlight and also clean up a little bit under the brows. After that, I take a flat brush. This one is the e.l.f. Professional Eyeliner Brush, and it's really thin. And then what I like to do is I like to go down with the product. to blend it out. So I like to now the flat brush is pretty good for this stuff, because you could get it, since it's so flat, you could get it to go to those places where nothing else will go. And then you just want to blend down. And then what I like to do is I like to go in with my finger and just blend the rest of the stuff out. Now you could use a concealer for this, but I like my highlighting pencil better. See how that looks more crisp and precise. And we're gonna do the same thing to the other side. How I groom my eyebrows and I fill them in. Right now they look like they're a little bit strong because I don't have any other makeup on, but once you put on the makeup, everything comes together and it looks really, really nice. You guys have seen me on other videos. I decided to do this one video on the eyebrows alone because I feel like the brows are a focal point on every look. You could have a beautiful eye look, but if your brows look crazy, nobody will pay attention to what you have on your eyes. They will only pay attention to your crazy brows. Yeah, I pretty much try to keep the same shape on both of them. Of course, they're not going to be identical because brows are not supposed to be identical. You want them to be similar to each other, but not exactly identical. So that is it for this video. I hope that you guys find this video useful. I can do other videos on the eyebrows using different products like a pencil or a shadow. You guys can let me know in the comments in the section down below. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Bye.